Hello, hello, and welcome. I am super excited to have you all here. We have six great schools with just 6 minutes to tell you all about them and why they might be the right school for you. I'm excited for you all to get here. My name is Jay. I am your StriveScan facilitator, and welcome to the Counselor Advocacy for the Jewish University Experience Virtual College Fair. As you all keep piling in here, we've got a lot of you here, but we have just six presenters, again, with just 6 minutes to tell you all about what they have to offer. I am going to go ahead and go over a couple of housekeeping announcements before we get started, and I pass it on over to the stars. So the first thing here is that there is a Q&A button that you should see at the bottom of your screen. That is how you can type questions to our presenters at any time. The only request that we have is if you're asking a question to a specific school, please list the name of the school in the question so the right person knows to get back to you. Also, you can see and hear us, but we cannot see and hear you. Your audio, your video is completely off, so do not worry about that. Also, there are many sessions happening later this afternoon if you want to register for more. And in about 1 week, you'll be able to get this recording at strivescan.com/Jewish Student Fair. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to bring up our first presenter here with Barnard College. Come on up.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Jay, for kicking us off. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lily Brown. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am an admissions counselor for Barnard College. I'll also say very quickly that I am an alum of Barnard, specifically our double degree program with the Jewish Theological Seminary. I'm not going to talk extensively about that right now, but if that's something that you know about or of interest to you, definitely feel free to hit me up in the Q&A. But to get us started, this is Barnard College. So Barnard, we consider ourselves to be a college that offers an experience that is based on 4 unique pillars. And each slide of this presentation will very, very quickly go through what each of those pillars are to us. So the first one is our identity as a liberal arts college. We are a small private liberal arts college with about 2,600 students total, with a curriculum designed for hands-on research across all disciplines. We are also a women's college. If I had to pick a favorite pillar of ours, it would be that one. So we are a college that was started to ensure that women had equal access to education, and that spirit does not die now. In that you would be attending a college experience where the experience of women is always at the forefront and central to both your academic and experiential culture at Barnard. Third is our unique partnership with Columbia University. So historically, we've always had a relationship with Columbia back when they were an all-male institution, and they did not begin to be co-ed until 1983. So when they became co-ed in 1983, Columbia turned to Barnard and said, hey, do you want to be subsumed by us? And we said no. So now we have a unique partnership in which we share all academic and extracurricular resources with both Columbia and Barnard students. If you haven't been to campus, that's okay, but you can see right here, we are very much in great proximity to each other. So anything that's behind the books, the graduation cap, the crown, that's Barnard's campus, and then anything behind the Empire State Building icon is Columbia's campus. And the street that divides us is Broadway, which brings me to our identity as an urban campus in New York City. We are very much on the island of Manhattan. We'll have a Broadway address when you attend Barnard, and our professors and all of our students really enjoy using New York City as their extended campus. To give you some brief intro into our liberal arts experience, the statistics you see here are from our most recent, our second most recent graduates, the class of 2020. So the popular majors here are the top 10 popular majors for the class of 2020 graduates. Over 30% of our students pursue degrees in STEM. And because we are a liberal arts college and only a liberal arts college for undergraduates, research opportunities are completely abound at Barnard. When professors have to do research, regardless of their discipline, the only students to choose from are Barnard students, since we don't have a graduate school attached to us. So many Barnard students leave Barnard having dipped into research on some, post or postgraduate or professional scale in some capacity. Very quickly, our identity as a women's college. For me, I understand that that's a little fearful or you have some trepidation about it. But I will say that the main thing that I learned at a women's college that I know I wouldn't have been able to gain anywhere else is the skill to derive power from my gender identity, no matter what situation I'm in, be that academic, professional, interpersonal. And I know that the ability to feel more comfortable in my own skin is something that I know I wouldn't have been able to gain at a co-ed institution. I talked about this briefly, but our partnership with Columbia University, again, we share all extracurricular and academic courses. So this is a picture from one of our libraries on Barnard's campus, and you can see there are Columbia students hanging out, studying with their Barnard friends. I think another great way that our Columbia relationship comes to life is through our Jewish life on campus. So the Columbia Barnard Hillel is shared between Barnard and Columbia students. There is a kosher meal plan on campus, but it's only offered on Barnard's campus and Barnard's dining hall. So that means that Columbia students who wish to enroll in a kosher meal plan will eat in that Barnard dining hall. And that also extends to the fact that, yes, all undergraduate clubs are shared between both universities. So if there's a class at Columbia that has a better time for your schedule or is interesting to you, you can take it. And similarly, there are going to be Columbia students who are taking courses towards their Columbia degree on Barnard's campus. I will end by talking about finally our location. Again, New York City is really a vibrant and wonderful community. If you are someone who's interested in sort of having a dynamic learning experience around you, both on your residential campus and also off it, New York City is a great place to go to school. This picture was taken on top of one of our residential halls. So you're very much like uptown above everything, but you can see we've got great views and we can just dive right in whenever we want. So one of our liberal arts curriculums one of our curriculum requirements is something called Thinking Locally. And that's a class that you have to take regardless of the department that will really get you out into the city and use the city to your academic advantage. So one of them, a really popular one, is called Dance in New York City. That's the dance department. It tells you a history of dance in New York. There's also one in environmental science, for example, that brings you out into the Hudson River, which you can see at the right here. And you'll go out with your professor on a boat. You'll take samples from the river and then go back to campus and measure the pH levels of the Hudson River. So you're really always going to be engaging with the city. And I will say that New York City is very much a Jewish city. I grew up in the South, and when I came to New York, I was very much overwhelmed with how much access I had to different parts of Jewish culture that I hadn't been exposed to in the South. So I think it's also a great way to continue to sort of engage with and build your Jewish identity there. I'll end by saying that there are lots of wonderful institutions. I'm so glad that all of you are thinking about your futures. But what I will say about Barnard is that it really is the most unique option for students like you, and that I can't think of another university that is not both, but all incoming, a liberal arts college, a historically women's college, a partnership with an Ivy League co-ed institution, and in New York City. And I see Jay has arrived, so I will end it there. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Lily. Really appreciate that. We are now going to move over to our second presenter with Quinnipiac University. Come on up and take it away.
Thank you so much, Jay. Hi, all. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Christina, and I am one of the assistant directors of admissions at Quinnipiac. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and share with you a little bit about what Quinnipiac has to offer. Just momentarily. Here we go. So for those of you who are not familiar, Quinnipiac University is located in Hamden, Connecticut. We're about an hour and a half outside both of Boston and New York City. We are a liberal arts-based college, medium-sized, with an average of 7,000 undergraduate students and 3,000 graduate students to total out at 10,000 students. We do have 3 unique campus locations, 2 of which are in Hamden and 1 in the town of North Haven, which is about 8 minutes from both of our Hamden locations. Our first campus that you will see on the left is our Mount Carmel campus, and is where a majority of our undergraduate classes and housing is held. And then about a mile up the road, we have our York Hill campus. That is strictly a residential campus for upper class students, so our juniors and our seniors. And then our North Haven campus is a graduate level pre-professional campus with focus on our medical school, our law school, our School of Nursing, School of Health Sciences, as well as our School of Education. Quinnipiac was actually recently voted #1 school in the United States for job placement after graduation. Quinnipiac has a large emphasis on experiential learning. So essentially what that means is whatever is learned within the classroom can be applied to an internship, and then internships oftentimes leading to jobs, which is great. And again, where we put a lot of our focus, and our location is optimal for this in the sense that we are an hour and a half both outside of New York City and Boston, as well as the city of New Haven, which is located about 15 minutes from us in Hamden, Connecticut, the city of Hartford, as well as the city of Stamford, Stanford. So a ton of different internship opportunities within those local cities, as well as some of those cities that are further out. However, because of Quinnipiac's location being so close to New Haven, we are optimal for access to our train station, which is great. So easy access to all of those surrounding cities as well. Quinnipiac offers 59 different majors, 49 different minors, and 20 unique dual degree programs. I am a two-time alum of the university, so I was a part of one of those dual degree programs within our School of Communications. So I received my bachelor's in public relations with a minor in entrepreneurship, and then went on to study interactive media and design as a master's program. So that's something that's really unique about the university, is you can not only when applying, apply into one of our undergraduate programs, but also a graduate program as well. So if you know that you're interested in receiving your MBA, for example, you can apply into our School of Business and then also be accepted into our master's program for business administration as well. And again, there's 20 different programs that you can stem from academically. So we do cover almost every area academically within our College of Arts and Sciences, our School of Business, School of Communications, School of Education, School of Engineering, School of Health Sciences, School of Law, School of Nursing, and School of Medicine. So 9 schools in total at Quinnipiac University. And again, those dual degree programs range from our College of Arts and Sciences, our School of Business, School of Communications, the School of Nursing, and the School of Health Sciences, with some of those unique dual degree programs focusing on health sciences, our 6-year direct entry physician's assistant program, our 6- and 7-year physical therapy program, and our 5-year occupational therapy program as well. So Quinnipiac recently transitioned from rolling admissions to regular admissions. So I do like to share this with students that our applications do open as early as August 1st. And you can apply at any point in time for whichever style of application and admission works for the students. We do offer interviews for our students as well. If you are interested in learning more about the university in general, you can set up a counselor meeting with our counselors, as well as interviews, again, to learn more about Quinnipiac's campus as well. Another really unique and interesting thing that Quinnipiac has to offer, aside from those internship connections, is those job connections. And the really other unique piece of this is that each school at Quinnipiac does offer its own career development center. So if you're interested, again, I'll use business, for example, if you're interested in applying for a job after within the realm of business, you can go and work with our career development center within the School of Business to find a job that is specifically within the area of business that you're interested in. So we do not share one overall career development center on the university campus, but many that are more specified within the area of study and interest once the student is graduated. Quinnipiac has extreme emphasis on involvement outside of the classroom as well. So we have 150 different clubs and organizations at Quinnipiac, and those stem from some pre-professional programs and clubs. We have Greek life affiliations, we have religious affiliations. We also have different global and community-based organizations as well for students to get involved in. Our big event is one of our biggest events on campus, which is why we do call it the big event, so students can get involved both locally and statewide to help for a day of service. And then we have different club and intramural sports as well. And then our 21 Division I NCAA athletic teams. So in essence, what Quinnipiac is looking for in students is very, very well-rounded students who are involved both inside and outside of the classroom and take pride in all of those. And I see Jay popping on, so I will stop sharing my screen and thank everybody for joining us and listening to our presentation about Quinnipiac.
Thank you so much, Christine. I really appreciate that. We will now move right along to Hofstra University. Take it away, Brian.
Thanks so much, Jay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I think we're officially at the afternoon time slot, so good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be sharing some information with you about Hofstra University. So to start off, Hofstra is located out on Long Island. I'm hoping you guys can see my screen. I think that's what we're seeing here. Yep, perfect. Is located out on Long Island. So we're 25 miles east of New York City. Long Island is a suburb of New York City, for those of you who are not familiar with it. So absolutely beautiful area. So you're getting the taste of New York City, but also getting the suburban area right outside of New York City. We do have an intercampus shuttle that does take you to two of our local commuter rail stations that does get you to and from New York City in 45 minutes. So we always say that we use New York City as an extension of our classroom for fun events, cultural events, internships and job opportunities, educational events, and so much more. So many great opportunities being close to it, 25 miles east, and many of our students use it for so many different pieces. Let's talk a little bit about our campus community as a whole. So we are a large size campus size, so 244 acres, but small campus feel. On average, it's 21 students in a class and is a 13 to 1 student to faculty ratio. So you are not walking into classes of 400 or 300 or even 100 or even 70 students. Some of our larger class sizes have about 35 students in it, but on average, it's 21 students or less. It is a 13 to 1 student to faculty ratio, so that really helps a lot with professors getting to know you, you getting to know them. That helps with the job opportunities, the internship opportunities, research opportunities that really present themselves at Hofstra. We have about 6,100 undergraduate students, about 3,500 graduate doctoral students, classifies us right in the middle of medium-sized institutions, so not too big, not too small. I always say we're just the right size for those of you who are thinking about a medium-sized school. So definitely a couple things to note there. In addition, our diversity, similar to my colleague that spoke about being from New York as well and a school from New York City, diversity is similar to what you find throughout New York City. Students from all over, all sorts of different backgrounds, cultures, religions, and so much more. Students from 48 states and upwards of 70 countries here at Hofstra. So you may be sitting next to someone in your class that's from here in New York City, from Massachusetts, from Rhode Island, from Florida, from California, from the complete other side of the world. So you never know who you're going to meet and the cultures and experiences that you're going to be involved with and included with here at Hofstra. You saw it and mentioned 165 different majors to choose from. I joke and say this is the eye test. There are 165 different majors, many of them listed on the screen here. If you want more details about each and every major that we do offer at Hofstra, hofstra.edu/majors will provide you some of that information. Just to overview some of the popular ones we see many students applying to, biochemistry, and chemistry are all popular because of our really strong joint programs in the medical field with Northwell Health Systems. If you are not familiar, Northwell Health Systems is actually one of the largest health systems in the nation and one of the largest in the state of New York. And we partner with them for our BSMD program, Bachelor of Science in Medical School program, for our PA program for Physician's Assistant, a direct entry BSMS program, and our brand new 2021 BS in Nursing program as well. Other programs that are popular that many offer 5-year bachelor's master opportunities in as well: education, communications, business, psychology, our engineering program, criminal justice that offers a 3+3 program, 3 years undergraduate school, 3 years graduate school with our law school here at Hofstra. So it's an accelerated program for that. Speech language hearing sciences, anything within the arts area, so theater, dance, music, art in general, all really popular amongst our students too. If you had a specific major you're interested in and I didn't mention it, doesn't mean it's not popular at Hofstra. This is a majority of the majors that we see many students applying to. Experiential learning. Being so close to New York and in general, we really are big on experiential learning here at Hofstra. We want you to be able to gain that experience outside of the classroom as well as inside the classroom to really feel and touch and see what it's like to do and be in the area of focus that you're interested in. 71% of the students here at Hofstra participate in some form of internship. On average, students are participating in 2.35 internships while with us at Hofstra. So that's actually larger than the national average of students that are participating in internships. What you're seeing on the screen are just some of the places that our students have interned. One of the nice things is all of our faculty and staff members actually have the highest degree in their field and are still either connected or still have the connector pieces to be able to get you where you would like to go in the next steps necessary. One of the other things I always like to point out is the statistics of our graduates. 93% of our students within 6 months of graduation are either enrolled in graduate school or employed, which is an outstanding statistic and something that should really resonate with you as you take your college, make your college list and continue to explore through colleges. In addition to that, just shy of 60% of our students have a job offer at or before graduation. So again, that hands-on learning, experiential learning, smaller class sizes, and the opportunities available to you in the community here at Hofstra really help present themselves and carry you to the next levels of what you may be looking for. Let's talk a little bit about our campus community. Over 220 student clubs and organizations to get involved in. You name it, we have it here at Hofstra. If you want to start up your own club organization, absolutely can. But so many different things to get involved in. One of the larger clubs on campus is our Hillel Club, which is outstanding opportunities for our students. Rabbi Dave, who oversees our Hillel, is super awesome and probably one of my favorite people across our campus community here at Hofstra. In addition to that as well, 21 Division I sports teams. So we are the Hofstra Pride. Quick fun story on that. Our mascots are 2 lions. So if you remember from your Lion King days, 2 lions make up a pride. That's who we are. We guarantee housing for all 4 years. About 82% of our first year students do reside on campus. So that's something to note for sure as well. Applying to Hofstra, what you're going to see on the screen, these are just averages. We are a test optional institution, not required. If you feel you have submitted those SAT or ACT and you'd like to, what you're seeing on the screens are averages between 1120 and 1320, 25 to 30 on the ACTs, about a 3.7. High school GPA, it's about an 88 on the 100-point scale, or about a B+ on the A to F scale. We are also an early action institution. 2 different deadlines you're seeing on the screen, but I'll drop my contact information in the chat for more information. And I'm going to turn it back over to Jay. Thanks so much, Jay.
Thank you so much, Brian. Really appreciate that. We are halfway through our presentations here. So just as a reminder, you can utilize the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask questions at any time. I know all of our people here would love to answer your questions if you have any, but University of Vermont, take it away.
Great, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Murray, and I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at the University of Vermont. I'm also an alum as well, so I absolutely love the University of Vermont. I'm happy to share my love of UVM with you all today. So the University of Vermont, or as we call it, UVM, is a medium-sized public research institution with about 10,000 undergraduate students. You'll see the ratio of our in-state and out-of-state population enrollment is a little bit unusual for a public university, and that's for a few different reasons. Vermont is a small state with a small population, and we really attract students from all across the US and abroad as well. So that's sort of what allows us to have this in-state versus out-of-state breakdown. This is one distinguishing feature of UVM. We have about 100 different majors to choose from within our 7 academic schools and colleges, all listed on the screen that you can see there, as well as 40 accelerated master's programs. So this allows you to spend 5 years at UVM and get both a bachelor's degree as well as a master's degree. So for students that know they ultimately want to get that advanced degree, it's a great way to make the most out of your time at UVM. Our size, as well as the breadth and depth of different academic programs, all add to that UVM experience. Another distinction is our faculty. Professors at UVM really are world-class scientists and scholars driven to making new discoveries. They also really love to teach, and at UVM they get to do both. A further hallmark of UVM is its land grant heritage. As a land grant university, we really are dedicated to education that improves the health of our society and community at large. So really guided by that mission, you'll find a strong sense of purpose in our classes, our laboratories, our clubs, really every aspect of life at the University of Vermont. Some of UVM's distinctive qualities can, on the surface, appear a bit contradictory. UVM is old, founded in 1791. It's the 5th oldest university in New England, but UVM is also constantly renovating its programs and investing in our campus to make sure that we are keeping pace with the world all around us, and that students have access to really the best experience. UVM's size at around 10,000 students is also unique. It's big compared to other liberal arts colleges, but much smaller than most other national research universities, offering that small school feel with really the large school opportunities, resources, and connections. Our 7 schools and colleges really help create the feeling of a more intimate academic home within a larger, robust university environment. It's also true that our location is both urban and open. Our campus is right in Burlington, a small city known for great food, music, and other arts, also business and tech innovation. And then Lake Champlain and the Green Mountains, as well as Adirondack Mountains, are right in our backyard, providing lots of opportunities for students to get outdoors and kind of enjoy the great outdoors all around us in the state of Vermont. Putting knowledge to work and learning by doing is really another hallmark of UVM education. Our students participate in internships, research opportunities at the undergraduate level, service learning, where they'll get to connect with nonprofit organizations and local agencies right around the Burlington area, providing some sort of service and also getting college credit. Study abroad is also highly encouraged and very accessible. We have programs that go to over 80 different countries. And there's plenty of other hands-on experiences that really put knowledge to work and make their education come to life for our students. Students find these opportunities through our Career Center, their professors and academic advisors, as well as through our support offices like our Study Abroad office or our Community and University Partnerships office. The residential experience, where you will live on campus, can be a big part of college life as well, especially in that first year. And we've put a lot of thought into that at UVM in the creation of our residential learning communities. These are large themes that bring students together around common interests and really create that sense of home away from home. Students can choose to live with like-minded individuals in themes like wellness, sustainability, the outdoors, or arts, just to name a few. This makes it really so that community is built into the experience starting day one as soon as you move to campus. So UVM really is a community dedicated to supporting and celebrating the unique identity of every student, faculty, and staff member. We share many things in common within our community too. Most importantly, a commitment to promoting the values of respect, integrity, innovation, openness, justice, and responsibility. And we call this our common ground. It really does permeate everything we do at UVM. Our community also deeply values diversity, equity, and inclusion in every aspect of campus life. We want to be sure that anyone that comes to campus feels like they can call UVM home and find a sense of belonging, and that their identity will not only be seen, but will be celebrated at UVM. The identity centers on campus are active places for students to explore and embrace their own identities, to gather, plan, and engage. Many of you here today may be interested in our Jewish identifying students and how campus engages them. We have a very active Hillel on campus with hundreds of students actively participating every week in things like our Friday Shabbat dinners, as well as a Chabad on campus and many other student-led clubs. We have a full kosher kitchen in our dining hall, and this kitchen distributes food to other dining kind of grab and go locations throughout campus. We also have lots of opportunities for students to celebrate holidays together with other UVM students through Hillel, Chabad, and through our other local temples in the area. We do have a large group of students every year attending birthright trips to Israel. And as part of this dedication to celebrating diverse identities at UVM, our campus community really connects Jewish students and supports them in thriving on our campus. UVM would not be the same without Burlington, and Burlington would not be the same without UVM. This energy of campus really feeds the town, and the town feeds it right back to the university with great internships, a thriving music scene, and lots of things to do for students, lots of fun things to do. So it's a great part of the UVM experience. A little bit about the admissions profile, and I'm going to wrap it up. I see Jay just popped on. We do consider students automatically for merit scholarships when they apply. So I would encourage you to definitely check out some of the details about our application process on our website at uvm.edu/apply. I will post my contact information as well as the link to our website in the chat. But I want to thank you all so much for learning more about the University of Vermont today.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Really appreciate that. We're going to move right along now to Case Western Reserve University. Go ahead and take it away, Bob.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much. And thanks for all of you for joining us. I'm having a great time. You all picked a terrific room to listen to half a dozen institutions that are all terrific places and all very different from one another. So thanks for being with us. So my name is Bob McCullum, the Dean of Admission at Case Western Reserve, and glad to be able to share a bit about our university, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time for some questions at the end as well. So first of all, we start with this this framing of think beyond the possible, and you'll see this phrase used kind of throughout in our promotions and as we talk about ourselves as an institution, and it really kind of captures what I think the spirit of Case Western Reserve is all about. So we are a research university, and you've heard that term before. And what that means is that at research universities, our faculty and our students are actively engaged in this process of the creation of new knowledge. So some of our heritage, the Michelson-Morley experiment, the first Nobel Prize winner from the United States, Albert Michelson, that was at Case Western Reserve University. The atomic weight of oxygen was found at Case Western Reserve University by the Morley of the Michelson-Morley So there's lots of great science and innovation and technology happening. And that kind of carries through in the life of students today. So Gmail was created by a Case Western Reserve graduate, for example. So a lot of kind of disruption and innovation and really kind of thinking beyond what we know and imagining what that future might look like. That's sort of the nature of what we do. One of the places where that happens is this place called ThinkBox. And ThinkBox is a very cool spot. It's the Innovation Center on campus, 50,000 square feet, 7 stories. And it's everything from 3D printers and water jets, cutters, and a welding shop to business incubation space and places to be able to collaborate and ideate around what a new business opportunity might be. It is the largest open access makerspace on any college campus in the country. And it's a place where it's open. You don't have to be a particular major or class year or anything. You can all go into ThinkBox and create a new business, or make a birthday present for your mom. So we have 8 undergraduate schools and colleges. We have arts and sciences, or I'm sorry, 8 total schools and colleges. At the undergraduate level, arts and sciences, engineering, management, nursing. We also have a school of medicine, dental medicine, applied social science, nonprofit management, law. So a little bit of everything. When you apply to Case Western Reserve, you're admitted through one door to all 4 undergraduate schools and colleges. So that gives you a lot of flexibility to pursue multiple interests. If you're that kind of techie engineer type who also wants to combine that with business, or say you're a pre-med student who loves the arts, we're the kind of institution that really enables you to pursue those dreams and to not have to give something up. It also might be the case that you come in with an idea of what you want to do and you change your mind. And that's cool too. So because of that single door admission, it's there's no hassle with sort of changing the direction that you might have. We are again a place that really is focused on this idea of research number 17 for federally funded research. The experiential learning and research, internships, cooperative education, study away experiences. 99% of our students do some type of experiential learning, which is almost all of them. Also makes you wonder, what's the deal with that other 1% that student just completely missed the boat. But this guy here, Chris Carr, he's actually discovered a galaxy, as one does. And he is currently in graduate school at Columbia, actually next to one of our panelists here. So, all kinds of things that you can do because of that nature of being able to connect with faculty. I know we're a little bit of an outlier in this panel here. We're in the Midwest. And so when you think about Cleveland, this student here on the left, his name is Ari Lewis. And he actually is from New York, but came to Case Western Reserve for college and decided to eventually find his way there to start. He's an entrepreneur, and he's especially interested in blockchain technology. Really found that there was a thriving scene in blockchain at Case Western, or in the Cleveland community. And so this is really where he's decided to kind of settle. Also found that the cost of living was favorable as well. So real quick about Cleveland, Fortune 500 companies, lots of great opportunities there. Also terrific opportunities related to arts and culture, professional athletics. We think this is the year for the Browns to go all the way, Super Bowl or bust. Not so much for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Metro Parks are great kind of green space, not too far from the city. Great arts and culture scene with, of course, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the largest theater district outside of New York in Playhouse Square, right downtown there. Our neighborhood is a 1 square mile. It's called University Circle. It is home to more than 50 arts, cultural, and healthcare institutions, including the Cleveland Orchestra, home to one of the top 5 orchestras in the world, Severance Hall, also the Cleveland Museum of Art, and then major medical centers as well, including Cleveland Clinic, which is where our health education campus is co-located. So again, experiential learning, lots of great opportunities in terms of campus life to be engaged. And I'll share the one last thing that I'll share as I'm running out of time is just a quick note about Jewish life. The Cleveland Hillel, which is home to the Cleveland area colleges, Hillel, is on our campus. This is an image not of the Hillel, but of the former Temple of Tiferet, Israel, which is now our Performing Arts Center at Case Western Reserve. So Hillel, Chabad, Kosher Meal Plan, lots of great opportunities to connect with Jewish life as well. So with that, I will yield the floor for our last panelist.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Our final panelists of the afternoon is going to be Binghamton University. Come on up and take it away.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I got it. I was on mute. My name is David Babb, and I'm representing Binghamton University, State University of New York. I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared, and then we are going to start. Okay. All right. So Binghamton University, State University of New York, is one of the SUNY schools located in New York. We're the #1 public university in New York State. For any of you that aren't really familiar with SUNY, there are 64 colleges and universities in the public system in New York State, and Binghamton is one of those. There's a ton of others here on the screen, and I always love to make sure I talk about the other SUNYs as well if you are looking to go public in New York State. One of the things that Binghamton is really well known for is our research, and if you see the gentleman over on the side, he is one of our Nobel Prize laureates. He won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry just last year. So he's doing a lot of fantastic work with our students, and we have a ton of other faculty members doing great work as well on campus. All right, Binghamton is located just 3 hours north of New York City. So we're just on the southern tier of New York and Pennsylvania. So not very far at all. Very easy to get to anywhere that you're coming from within the Northeast. At Binghamton University, we are a mid-sized institution. We have roughly around 15,200 undergraduate students with a total population of around 18,000. We boast over 140 different majors and programs. Our top majors and programs being business admin, nursing, computer science, so on and so forth. And that's spread out across 6 different schools and colleges. We do have 4 campuses in the city of Binghamton upstate. So most of our students will be on the main campus, and then the other smaller schools like our nursing school, our pharmacy school, and so on are located just off campus, very easy to get to. We have over 450 student-run clubs and organizations on campus. In addition to that, we are NCAA Division I and a part of the America East Conference. At Binghamton, we have 2 decision deadlines each year. So we have November 1st, which is early action. And then we do have a regular decision, which is January 15th. And I've also indicated some information about our mid 50% statistics for SAT, ACT, and GPAs. As far as test scores and if we will be test optional next year, we're still waiting on a direction from the governor of New York for that, but we hope to be receiving that in the next few weeks. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we are a research institution. So some of the things I want to make sure that I talk with you about now is some of the ways how we support that. So in your first year, we have 2 main programs for our undergraduate students. The first of which is called the First Year Research Immersion Program. And that is a program funded by the National Science Foundation. And that is for our first year students to do research if they would like in the STEM field. In addition to that, we do have other research areas under another program called the Source Project. And that one is for our students in the social sciences and the humanities to do research as well if they would like. At Binghamton, we are very well known for our accelerated programs and our early assurance programs. So if you're thinking about going on for a master's degree, going on for an MBA, going on to medical school, pharmacy school, whatever it might be, we do have quite a few early assurance programs throughout the SUNY system that Binghamton is directly affiliated with, and some of them located right on our campus. And then outside of the 2 research areas that I mentioned before, we do have a heavy focus on undergraduate research, even though we are a mid-sized institution. The bulk of our research, more than 75% of it, is done by our undergrads on campus. And if you'd like to do research and you're not a part of either one of the 2 programs that I mentioned, you still do have access to do research through the Undergraduate Research Center that is on campus. Now at Binghamton, we do have a robust Jewish community, and I'm gonna spend the next 3 slides talking about it. I think there's roughly around, All right, so there are roughly around 30% of our students on campus that are that do identify as Jewish students on campus. We do boast a robust Hillel and Chabad on campus. We are also closed for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Pesach. There is also tons of opportunities if you're thinking about going on to continue learning within Jewish life. We do have a Judaic Studies department on campus, in addition to having an Israel Studies department on campus. For those of you that that are observant and it's important to you, we do have Eruv on and around campus and in parts of the surrounding communities. And then our community does also support three synagogues of all different areas, Reform, Conservative, and also Orthodox, right on campus. And if any of you are thinking about studying abroad, just know that we have a ton of study abroad opportunities, over 1,000 of them. Many of you may be going to Israel to do a gap year before you start at Binghamton, and that's something that we support. Around 15% of our Jewish students do a gap year every year before they come to us. And we will be able to take credit from any institution that you attend while you're in Israel. So if that's something that's important to you and you know that you're going to do that, just know that Binghamton is also going to support that for you. Some of our other learning opportunities are offered through our OUJLIC. I mentioned the Chabad and the Hillel already, and I think I'm basically at the last slide. So this is all of the information that you'll need, and I will drop some more in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me.
Thanks so much, David. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to ask all of our presenters now to come back onto video because I've got one quick question before we close out here that I would love for you all to answer for me. Being that you all are the professionals that you are, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go in the same order that y'all presented in. So Barnard College, what do you have to say here?
What I have to say is that there are many different schools out there. I think you can see that there's like something unique to take away from all presentations that we saw here. And definitely don't be shy to be like, there are elements of this college that I liked and that college and this college down here, and really see if there are schools that maybe combine all of those. And don't be shy to really look for what you want, and just compile a list with, and I'm a very organized person, so maybe if it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry, but Google Sheets will be your life savior during this process. Definitely be sure to keep track of deadlines, things you like about schools, where they are, financial opportunities, whatever it might be. I just gave you like 6 different column options, but definitely feel free to make it your own. And we applaud everyone who's looking for college as an option for them. So thanks so much for being here.
Great, thank you. Quinnipiac.
That's such a great question, Jay, and something that I talk a lot about with students who I converse with. My main piece of advice is when you're visiting schools, take every piece of the campus and the information in. There's a home for everybody, and everyone will find their place. I think when you step onto a college campus the first time, you'll feel it in your bones that you know that this is somewhere you can call a potential home for the next 2, 4, however many years you're planning to attend a school, depending on programs and whatnot. But there is a place and a home for everyone. So don't stop until you find it, because it will present itself kind of when you least expect it. And it might not be the school that you think just off the bat from your information, via just a website. So it's okay to be picky, and it's okay to really take your time in finding what is going to be best suited for you.
Thank you. Hofstra University.
I think my colleagues that have spoken so far offer great pieces of advice, and 2 pieces that I definitely would have also offered. But one of the other things I always say to students is, it is a stressful time, but don't stress out about it. It is really important to find the right fit school. It's really important to tour, to look at schools. Things are reopening and the world is coming back to semi-normal. So it is important to see a college campus, feel a college campus, and look at them, whether it be virtually or remote, but very important to do that. It's very important to start your list. It's very important to start a lot of that during the summer of your junior rising into your senior year. And as I mentioned at the beginning of my piece, relax. At this time of your senior year, you will be through the whole process and it will be in your rearview mirror. So don't even worry about it. It is okay. It will be okay. Don't stress out about it. Enjoy the process and learn a lot through it.
University of Vermont.
So it's really important to think about the type of academic program that you want to study, if you want big or small, city or rural, those kinds of things. But what I always like to suggest to students when they're thinking about the college search process and thinking about that start, how to get started, is to think about not only kind of the logistics of what programs you want to study, but really think about who you want to be and what kind of a community you want to be a part of, because you're not only going to be a student, you're also going to be a community member. This is going to be where you're living. This is going to be your family for 4 years and maybe even beyond after that. So really think about not only what kind of a student you want to be, but also what kind of a person you want to be and how that institution is going to help you get there.
Beautiful. Case Western.
Yeah, I think lots of great things have already been said. Maybe one piece that I would add to this is just to acknowledge and recognize that where you are today and where you'll be 2 months from now and where you'll be 6 months from now can be very different places. And that's because you're learning, you're growing, you're figuring things out, and you're getting exposed to different opportunities. So that's okay. This is not something to just get over with and get done with. It's a chance to really kind of explore not only all these great institutions, but also yourself and what matters to you.
Beautiful. And let's close it out here with Binghamton.
The only thing I would add to that is just lean into this process. You're only going to do this one time, most of you, unless you go through the transfer process. But it's supposed to be fun, so enjoy it. This is something you'll be able to talk about for the rest of your life. So just lean into the process and enjoy it while you have it.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to close us out here because we do have to end our session. Thank you so much to the 6 of you for coming here and sharing your schools. I know it's been very beneficial for everyone who is here live or watching the recording. If your questions didn't get answered, I highly recommend you reach out to the schools directly so they can reach out to the schools. I know a lot of them put their contact information in there, so let's definitely do that. But thank you all for joining us here live. When you close out, there will be a short 4-question survey. We at StriveScan would love your feedback. There are more sessions happening this afternoon. If you want to register and learn about 6 more schools, you can totally do that within the next hour. And you can find this recording and others at strivescan.com/Jewish Student Fair. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and you all have a wonderful afternoon. Bye now.